Welcome back. Casey Campbell here with Great Lakes Post, and we are pleased to be joined by Michael McDowell, the driver of the number 34 Loves Travel Stops Ford for Front Row Motorsports, and of course, the 2021 Daytona 500 champions. That feels good, doesn't it? To still say that. Does it still, even though it's all these months later, it feels like an eternity ago, but you're still the Daytona 500 champion, or a Daytona 500 champion. That will never go away.
Yeah, it's neat. Like you said, it does feel like a long time ago, but it's a memory that will last forever. And, just definitely a privilege to be among, the handful of drivers that have the honor to be a Daytona 500 champion. So yeah, it's great. But at the same time, racing is a week to week sport. And so the last few weeks have been rough. So it's good to have that reminder of why you grind it out and keep fighting hard. And so, yeah, it's been a fun year, but, ready to, keep fighting hard and finishing strong.
So let me ask you about this season so far. I know you just, I know, you've been eliminated from the round of 16 and all that, but what was it like making the playoffs? What was that experience like for you?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, it didn't go how we wanted it to go. It was, it was a bad few races for us. But, as far as being in the playoffs, being a part of it and taking it all in, it was definitely special, something I'll remember. It was a lot of fun to be a part of, one of 16 drivers to make the playoffs. And yeah, we wish it would have gone better. There was, a lot of missed opportunities in those first three races, but it's how it goes. It boils down to each round, and we didn't execute well in that first round, and but we still got a lot to race for this year, and still have a lot to fight for.
Yeah. So we're going to Talladega this weekend, place that you know pretty well. Finished third there back in April. But overall, what is it with you and super speedway racing that just kind of goes together a little bit?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. I think that Front Row Motorsports has always been really strong at the super speedways, well before I was here. And then for me, it's just been, this gradual progression of knowing that those super speedways are my best shot to win a race. So just becoming a student, working really hard at studying film and watching other drivers and listening to other drivers and spotters and, how they make their decisions, how they make their moves, and, just trying to evolve as a driver and get better each and every year. And then with results, that's kind of come along with that as well. So, top 10s, top 5s, starting to get in position, coming to the white flag to have a shot at winning a race, maybe making the wrong move a few times. That was all, experience and kind of help fill out that playbook that, helped me to be at the right place at the right time and make the right decisions when it counted this year. So I think it's just an evolution of working hard and having fast race cars and, just becoming a student and trying to learn from, these super speedways and how to approach them.
So kind of going in from that, knowing, with that and how Talladega races and all that stuff, what's it going to be like working with, all your Ford teammates, your other teammate, Anthony Alfredo, of course, part of that. But what's it like going to be working? What's the key to doing well at Talladega?
Yeah, the key to doing well at any super speedway is having friends, being around your teammates or, your manufacturers there at the end. That really plays out a lot with the strategy, how you pit, just positioning, all those things. But it usually I shouldn't say usually, it very rarely works out that you're lined up with all your friends when it comes down to the very end. But it's different in the playoffs too, because a lot of times at these super speedways, you'll have guys that are more worried about getting to the finish than they are stage points. I think it'll be different in the playoffs because there's guys that are going to need stage points. So I think there's going to be guys that are up there that aren't typically up there all race long. And the intensity level will probably be a little bit higher, this time. I don't think you'll have as many people sort of waiting to the end to make their move because all the points matter so much. So I think usually this fall race is more chaotic. And you just know that going into it, you're prepared for that. Talladega is a lot to do with missing the big one or two. And that's, it's hard to plan for everything. So you just do your best to put yourself in the best situation and see what happens.
Yep. Speaking of that, I know there's been a lot of talk over the last few weeks about your future. Have you been having those conversations with Bob and Jerry and everybody at Front Row about what happens for you next year? I know you want to stay in the Cup Series, but with Front Row, but how are those talks kind of going?
Yeah, I think everything's progressing well. There's a lot of moving parts that I don't know all the details to, but at the same time, I talk to them every week, and we're a small team. It's got that family atmosphere. I don't have to call my agent and have him talk to Bob and Jerry. I just walk in the office, and so we have these conversations. It's very transparent, ongoing. My plan is to be here at Front Row. My plan is to be in the Cup Series. That's what we're all working on and working towards. I don't really see that not being the case, but racing's like that. You just never quite know how it all works out. But we got great partners. We've had a great year, and I feel like we'll continue to do that moving on into 2022 with the next gen car, and I think that'll create opportunities for us to have more Daytona moments where we can be up front and win races, and hopefully we'll all have an opportunity to do that.
All right, Michael McDowell, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck this weekend at Talladega.
Thanks, Casey. Appreciate it.